engage with them. Try.
My name is Tenzin, and I am from Gyume monasteries, but I have been a lecturer at Dalai Lama Institute for Higher Education in Bangalore for more than 13 years, and I'm very honored and privileged to share a stage with this great panelist today, and I would like to extend my greetings each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay. Because especially for Tibetan Buddhism, it is in exile currently, and how to maintain that compassion even in a state where you feel wrong. The youth, I'm sure you interact with young Tibetan youth and Buddhist youth who feel, who could very well feel wrong and harbor hate, harbor towards somebody who's wronged them. So what do you think in Buddhist philosophy helps them retain compassion even in exile?
When we talk about the compassion, so before I touch the compassion from the Buddhist perspective, I want to say something else because the point that he has raised here is very important. So today, if we look at the problems, we have a lot of problems, we have a lot of challenges. And if you look at all these problems are classified into the two broad categories. The first one is a natural disaster like earthquake and floods and tsunami and so forth. So we cannot do much. But another types of problem, it's a man-made problem. And if you look at this problem, we have created this problem by ourselves. And if you look at this problem, how this is happening, and it is happening because of the lack of human values and human ethics, such as the practice of love and compassion and tolerance. And when we talk about the human values, I feel that our religion, all the religion, not only the Buddhism, Hindu, Jainism, all other religions, so they have been teaching us human values and human ethics for long time, from century to the centuries. So I think all the religions, not only the Buddhism, all the religions are being completely failed to establish the human values and human ethics in the society. So now I think it is a time that we have to find a new way beyond the religion. So what I think here is, today, if you look at this particular nation, India, if you look at the number of illiterate people, so number of illiterate population is decreasing. So that means everybody is receiving education rights. So everybody goes to the school, colleges and universities. So if you look at our school, colleges and universities, they are introducing the modern education. And modern education is mainly orientated towards the material developments, material values. and there is no single, colleges and universities, they are talking about the practice of love, practice of compassion. So therefore, today we can see, there are many people who are highly educated, graduated from these colleges and universities, but they are becoming a more troublemaker in our societies. Isn't that? So now I think that, it's a time that, we have to bring the Indian classical knowledge. When I talk about the Indian classical knowledge, it means not only the Indian like classical art, language, literature, architect, and also like a meditation, and Indian like Ayurvedic healing systems. There are many Indian classical knowledge. Now it is time that we have to combine the modern education with the Indian classical knowledge. So when we talk about the Eastern studies, many Westerners, they are looking to the China. When we talk about the Eastern studies, they are looking to the China. And if you look back to the history, you can see that Chinese people, Tibetan people, Korean people, Japanese people, and people of Thailand, people of Indonesia, and people of Myanmar, all these people come to study in India. They come to study in the Takshashila University and the Nalanda University. Okay, so India is the land of knowledge. Not only India was the land of knowledge, even today India is the land of knowledge. Okay, so therefore I think this nation, it is the only nation which can bring Indian classical knowledge with the modern education. So I humbly request to the government of India and people of the India, especially I want to request to the educationists of India. We have to come together, we have to sit down, and it is a time that we can introduce both traditions, modern education and ancient Indian knowledge, to our young generation, that they can receive the complete knowledge. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Now I'm coming back to the compassion, his question. Okay, so it is a long answer, sorry for that. Is it okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so when we talk about the compassion, okay, compassion actually, there is a two aspect of compassion. One is a biased one. Okay, like a mother has a compassion towards the kids, Sometimes they can sacrifice their own life for their kid. So it's very powerful. Compassion between mother and kids, very powerful, amazing. But that kind of compassion and love is it's a biased one, because it is an attachment mixed with attachment. It's a biological factor. It's not a unconditional compassion. Okay, so when we talk about unconditional compassion, it has to, even the mother, she has a very strong compassion towards the children, but she might not able to extend her compassion towards her own enemy, and she would not able to extend her own compassion to the stranger. So what I am trying to say, the compassion, it has to be reached to the entire living being, not only for your kids. You can extend your own compassion to your own enemy and all the strangers, So in order to develop that kind of compassion, first you have to think You have to think everything like I am, like the Guruji says, everybody wants happiness. Isn't that? I want happiness and everybody wants happiness like me. And you have to think, I don't want suffering and everybody do not want suffering. It's the same. Then second thing, you have to think that everybody has a right to achieve the happiness. Like you have a right to achieve the happiness and everybody has a right to achieve happiness. Then you must think that everybody has a right to remove the suffering and pain. Similarly, you also have the same feeling and everybody has like that. Then one thing that, when we talk about the selfish, people, when we say that I is an individual person. When we talk about the others, other is like a million. Other is million in the. So there is like a, it is no use, for sacrificing other for one individual person. There is a reason that sacrifice oneself for the millions for others. Isn't that? So you have to think like that. And from the Buddhist perspective, we are talking about the concept of interdependence. We are all dependent. Okay, if you are enjoying the breakfast, if you are enjoying the roti comes from farmers, and there are many like animals also, behind of your rotis, So there are the millions and millions of people behind of what you are enjoying right now. So everything is interconnected. So if you think that, you will develop a respect, not only the human being, you will develop the respect towards the animal also. So through that way, you can, develop a genuine compassion towards the all living being, not the biased one.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.